Hey, welcome to Zach's Tech Turf. Today, we're going to be benchmarking the brand new Dirt 4 with some budget graphics cards. Just in case you missed the last video in this series where I benchmarked Rising Storm 2 Vietnam, I added the GT 1030 to the mix. So, let's get into it. Most of you probably know what Dirt 4 and what the Dirt series is by now, so I'll keep the introduction short. Dirt 4 is a rally racing game that kind of mixes simulation and arcade driving. It's not nearly as simulation as something like iRacing or even Dirt Rally in my opinion, but it's certainly not arcadey like Need for Speed or The Crew. It's a perfect mix that's easy to jump into, but also difficult to master, my kind of game for sure. I'll be featuring this tomorrow on my Gaming on a Sunday Morning series, which is where I check out a new game every Sunday morning with you guys while drinking our morning coffee, and I highly recommend you check out that series if you haven't. So for today's video, I'm going to be benchmarking this game with 4 different budget graphics cards. The first one is the GT 730, which you can find for 50 bucks. The second is the new and improved upgraded version of that, which is the GT 1030, and that goes for about 70. I actually just uploaded my full review and benchmarking video for the GT 1030, which you should check out if you haven't already. I actually have videos for all of these cards, but the GT 1030 is brand new and a pretty solid option. Next up, we have the $100 RX 460, and finally we have the top end of what I would consider budget graphics cards, the GTX 1050 Ti, which goes for about 150 bucks. Real quickly, I want to remind you guys that I have a full playlist of this exact same type of video but with other games, and yeah, PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds is in there, so you should definitely check it out. The testing rig I'll be using today is my main gaming rig, which is rocking an i7 4790K without an overclock, 16GB of DDR3 RAM, an MSI Gaming 5 motherboard, and the game is installed on a 2TB Western Digital Black hard drive. Now I understand that this testing rig is complete overkill for these budget graphics cards, but I do this to ensure that there's no bottlenecks and so that we can really push these graphics cards to the limit. And yeah, I know I say this every single video, but I still get comments about it, so sorry. Alright, so the first card I tested today was the GT 730, which like I said is only a $50 graphics card. There's 2 options that you can really take here. What you're seeing now is in 1080p with the lowest possible settings, and I averaged 36 FPS. 36 FPS might sound low, but look at the minimum and maximum. They are pretty close, meaning that the FPS stay very consistent, and I would personally call this the sweet spot, especially for this budget of a card. If you want more FPS than that, I did drop it down to 720p with the lowest settings, and I averaged a bit over that 60 FPS mark, but it looked kinda ugly in my opinion. Next up, we have the GT 1030. This footage and testing was in 1080p and medium settings, and here I got a respectable 56 FPS. Take note of the minimum and maximum FPS yet again. The game ran very smoothly and stayed consistent, and I definitely recommend this as the sweet spot for the 1030. After that, I moved on to the RX 460 4GB version, and here I stayed in 1080p but cranked the settings up to high. I averaged 67 FPS, and I would also definitely call this the sweet spot for the RX 460. The game, in my opinion, is starting to look pretty nice right here, but honestly, I kind of feel like this game doesn't look as pretty as it should for high settings, but I'll get into that more in just a bit. The last card I tested was the GTX 1050 Ti. Here I was able to push up to 1080p and ultra settings, but I had to just turn off advanced blending to inch closer to that 60 FPS mark. Here I averaged 56 FPS, and I would only run at ultra if you do turn that one setting off. Running the normal ultra preset was a bit disappointing at around the high 40s and low 50s mark, so this is my recommendation for the sweet spot. With the benchmarks out of the way, I kind of want to talk about them a bit more before I end this video. I'm a little disappointed in how Dirt 4 looks, especially for a game in 2017. Don't get me wrong, I'm super happy that I can get 60 FPS in all the budget cards all the way down to the GT 730, but I kinda wish the higher end of the settings looked a bit better. Here is some footage with my GTX 980 in 1440p with ultra settings. Keep in mind I upscaled the rest of this entire video just so you people with 1440p or 4K monitors could actually see this, but I still don't feel like it looks that great. All I'm saying is that I'm definitely impressed with the consistency and smoothness of the game. I just wish the graphics were a bit better, and it seems like a bunch of other people online agree. Well, that wraps up my benchmarking video for Dirt 4. This series in benchmarking budget graphics cards has become a staple on my channel, and I want to sincerely thank you guys for the support support on these videos. Make sure you guys let me know in the comment section what games you want to see next. Well, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please drop a like down below to help support my channel, and as always, thank you for watching, and please subscribe for more Zach's Tech Turf videos.